Hi everyone, welcome to another video, and for today's topic we're going to discuss about the central tendency of a grouped data. We all know that we have three measures of central tendency: the mean, the median, and the mode. Now, unlike the ungrouped data, it is very easy for us to solve for the central tendency. The grouped data is quite complicated. All we need to do is to familiarize the steps and familiarize also the formulas, because we have here formulas to follow in solving for the mean, median, and the mode of the grouped data. So in here, the formula for the mean is the summation of fx over the n, wherein our f of x is the product of the frequency and the class mark, and n is the total frequency. Now let us proceed with the formula of the median. So this is quite long now, but then later we're going to discuss that one by one. So we have here the formula wherein median is equal to LB sub MC plus the summation of F over 2 minus CF all over F sub MC times CW. So we're going to discuss that one by one. Wherein in here, the summation of F is equal to the total frequency. LB sub MC, that is the lower boundaries of median class. So later I'm going to discuss that one also, how to get the median class. And then we have the F sub MC, that is the frequency of median class. The CW is the class width, and the CF is the cumulative frequency before or the preceding the median class. Now let us proceed with the formula of the mode. So we have there mode is equal to LB sub MO plus D sub 1 all over D sub 1 plus D sub 2 times CW, or the class width. So we are in here, LB sub MO is the lower boundaries of the modal class. D sub 1 is the difference of the frequency of the modal class and the class preceding it. And D sub 2 is the difference of the frequency of the modal class and the class succeeding it. Now, to understand this more, let us try to have some example. Okay, so we have this particular table. Now, first thing that you are going to do is to write this particular table, because you need to copy this one so that you can follow as we go along. To our computation in solving for the mean, median, and the mode. So in here, we have here the scores and the frequency. This is only the given. Okay, these are the given. So for example, we have here, we are going to compute the mean, median, and mode of the score of the students in a basic statistics test. Okay, so first thing that you're going to do, before we're going to compute for the mean, the median, and the mode, we are going to make a frequency distribution. Okay, so frequency distribution, I'm going to show you this one. How are we going to make this frequency distribution? So in making the frequency distribution, you need to have the 4 blanks there, wherein the first is for the lower boundaries, for the class mark, for the F times X, and the cumulative frequency, or the CF. Before that one, we need to know first the summation of the frequency. So all you need to do is just to add all the frequency. 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 11 plus 12 plus 11 plus 5 plus 1, that is over, or that is equal to 48. So later we will be needing that one, the summation of the frequency. Now let us proceed with the lower boundaries. Now how are we going to get for the lower boundaries? We are going to focus on the score, Now try to look at the highlighted portion there that those are the lower boundaries of the score. But then, how are we going to get that one? We will just subtract 0.5 on each of the numbers or the lower boundaries. So 11 minus 0.5, that is 10.5. 16 minus 0.5 is 15.5. 21 minus 0.5 is 20.5. 26 minus 0.5 is 25.5. 31 minus 0.5 is 30.5. 36 minus 0.5 is 35.5. Again, all we need to do is to subtract 0.5 to each of the numbers in the score that we have in there. 41 minus 0.5 is 40.5 and 46 minus 0.5 is 45.5. Now, let us proceed with the class mark. How are we going to get the class mark? Now, try to look at the score. We have there the classes, right? So, I'm going to highlight these two classes in here, the classes that we have in here. So, all we need to do, try to look at the highlighted portion. To get the class mark, just get the average of each of the class. So, how to get? Just add 11 plus 15 divided by 2. So, again, just get the average. 11 plus 15 divided by 2, that is equal to 13. So, 11 plus 15, that is 26, divided by 2, that is 13. Again, the next class, 16 and 20. 16 plus 20, that is 36, divided by 2, that is 18. The third class, we have 21 to 25. So 21 plus 25, that is 46, divided by 2, and that is 23. Then the fourth class, we have 26 to 30. So 26 plus 30, that is 56. So 56 divided by 2, that is 28. Then 31 to 35. So 31 plus 35, that is 66 divided by 2, that is 33. Then 36 plus 40 divided by 2, that is equal to 38. 41 plus 45 divided by 2 is 43. 46 plus 50 divided by 2 is 48. Again, to get the class mark, just add the two numbers that we have in there in the score, then divided by 2, and that would be the class mark. Now, let us proceed with the fx. How to get the fx? I highlighted the two columns there. We have the frequency and the class mark. So, frequency as f and class mark as x. In algebra, we all know that if we have that kind of expression, all we need to do is to multiply, right? So, what we're going to do is the same. Multiply f times the x. So, multiply the frequency times the class mark. So, we have there 1 times 13, that is equal to 13. 2 times 18, that is equal to 36. And then 5 times 23, that is 115. Then we have there 11 times 28, that is 308. So it is very important to have calculator for you to multiply it easily, right? So 12 times 33, that is 396. Then 11 times 38, that is 418. 5 times 43, that is 215. And 1 times 48, that is 48. Now, later, in the formula for getting the mean, median, or mode, we are going to use the summation of fx. So, we're going to add all of this one. So, 13 plus 36 plus 115 plus 308 plus 396 plus 418 plus 215 plus 48, and that is the summation of fx, which is equal to 1,549. Now, let us proceed with the cumulative frequency. How are we going to find the cumulative frequency? Now, in the cumulative frequency, we are going to focus also in the frequency. But first thing, what we're going to do, the first number in the cumulative frequency is just to copy the first frequency, wherein the first frequency is the 1. So, the first column in the cumulative frequency is 1. So, next thing we're going to do is just to add the first cumulative frequency, we're going to add it to the second frequency. So, which is the 2. So, 1 plus 2, that is equal to 3. So, the second column is 3. So, the same thing that you're going to do, just add the third cumulative frequency, add to the third frequency. So, 3 plus 5, that is 8. Then 8 plus 11, that is 19. Then 19 plus 12, that is 31. 31 plus 11, that is 42. 42 plus 5 is 47. And 47 plus 1, that is 48. That is how we are going to solve for the cumulative frequency. Now the table is now complete. So we have already finished making the frequency distribution. And it is very important that you have this table. You're going to write this one in a sheet of paper, complete this one, complete this frequency distribution rather, because not all of the column that we have in here is that we're going to use it in each of the central tendencies. Only some columns is needed in each of the central tendency. So let us proceed immediately in solving for the mean. So in solving for the mean, we only need this table. So we have the given, which is the scores and the frequency, the class mark, and the fx. Okay, only these 4 columns is needed. Now, what we're going to do next is just to follow the formula. So the formula of the mean, we have the mean is equal to the summation of fx over dn. So we have here the summation of fx. I have highlighted it in there, wherein summation of fx is equal to 1,549. And also I am going to highlight the summation of the frequency, which is the n there, which is 48. So again, follow the formula. The mean is equal to the summation of fx all over d, or divided by n. So we have there 1,549 divided by 48. So it is very important that you're going to use calculator now because we're going to be dealing with bigger numbers. So 1,549 divided by 48, that is 32.27. So the mean of the group data that we have in here is equal to 32.27. So it is very easy in solving for the mean. Now, let us proceed in solving for the median. Now, in solving for the median, again, we need to follow the formula also. And we only need to have this particular column. The score, the frequency. Now, we need the lower boundary and the cumulative frequency. So these are the table or the column that we need in solving for the median. Now, before we're going to proceed in solving, I have also written there, I have also affixed there the definition so that you can follow as we go along in solving for the median, because we're going to substitute the values in the formula that we have in here. So we have there LB, or the LB sub MC, which is the lower boundary of the median class, plus the summation of F over 2 minus C F all over FMC, or the frequency of median class times the CW or the class width. Okay. Now, first thing we're going to do is to get first median class, since we will be dealing with the lower boundaries of the median class, the cumulative frequency before the preceding the median class. So we need to identify the median class first. So how are we going to solve for the median class? Now, in solving for the median class, all you need to do is to get the summation of the frequency you have there. I have written there the summation of frequency divided by 2. So the summation of frequency, that is 48, divided by 2, that is equal to 24. The 24 there would be the one to indicate into which class our median class belongs. So where can we find the 24? Where can we find the median class? Okay, now focus on the cumulative frequency. Where can we find 24 in the cumulative frequency? We cannot find 24 in the first column, which is the 1, right? So let us proceed with the 3. So that means the frequency from 2 to 3. So the 24 cannot be seen in 3. So in 8, still we cannot find that 24 because 8 means there it is, the frequency is from 4 to 8. So next, 19. 19 meaning it is from 9 to 19. So we cannot also find 24. So meaning in 31. So in 31, we can find there the 24. That means the frequency from 20 to 31. So I have highlighted there the frequency where we can find the median class. So in that particular column. So we have already identified the median class. So the median class will be in the 31 to 35 in the scores that we have in there. We'll get most of our data in the highlighted portion. So let us proceed with the formula. So let us proceed with the lower boundary of median class. It is in there. So the lower boundary or the LB sub MC, which is the lower boundary of the median class, that is, I have already highlighted it in there, that is 30.5. Okay. Next, after identifying the lower boundary, we have the frequency of the median class. So the frequency of the median class we have also there, which is the 12. So 12 there is the frequency of the median class. Next thing we're going to do is to identify the CF, wherein CF means the cumulative frequency before the median class. Now, don't get confused because the cumulative frequency of our median class is the 31, right? The highlighted portion there. So that is the cumulative frequency of our median class. But the CF means the cumulative frequency before the median class. So therefore, it is the 19. And 19 is our CF. Next is the class width or the CW. How are we going to get CW or the class width? Now focus on the scores. Each of the classes or the scores that we have in there are 5 score in each classes, right? For example, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 5 scores in each class. Therefore, the class width is 5. Another example, we have the second column there, the second class, which is 16 to 20, meaning 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are 5 scores in each class. Therefore, our class width or the CW is 5. Now, we have already completed the givens there. We have the CF, the lower boundary, the median class, the frequency of the median class, and the class width. Now, what we're going to do next is just to substitute all the given in our formula. So, again, our formula of our mean there is, we have in there, LB sub MC or the lower boundary of the median class plus summation of f over 2 minus cf all over f MC times CW. So just substitute. So we have 30.5, our lower boundary, plus the summation or our summation of f or our median class, wherein summation of f over 2, which is 24, minus our CF or the cumulative frequency before the median class is 19, all over our f sub MC, or the frequency of the median class is 12 times 5. So, simplify. So, 24 minus 19, that is 5. So, again, simplify that one. 5 divided by 12 times 5, that is 2.08. So, we have already there 30.5 plus 2.08. So, our mean is equal to 32.58. So that is why it is very important that you have your calculators, okay? Again, it is very important that you know first or you solve first the median class so that it would be easy for you to solve it step by step. Okay? So let us proceed now for the last central tendency, which is the mode. In solving again for our mode, we need to use or we will be using the lower boundaries and also the given. We have the scores and the frequency as our given, and also the lower boundary, which is the LB, for us to get the lower boundary of the modal class. Okay, so LB sub MO. So I have already given there also the definition, wherein LB sub MO, the lower boundary of the modal class, the D1, which is the difference of the modal class and the class preceding it, meaning preceding it, before it, that is the D1. Then D2 is the difference of the modal class and the class succeeding it. Succeeding it means after it. Okay? So, first thing we're going to identify is the modal class. What would be our modal class? Though, this is different with the median class. Okay? Now, our modal class, to identify the modal class, try to focus on the frequency. Look at the frequency column. In the frequency column that we have in there, I have highlighted in there the most numbered frequency is the 12, right? So I have highlighted the column of the 12. Therefore, we will focus on that particular column. All the data that we need is in that particular column. Okay? So, that is the modal class, the 12. Now, let us proceed with the solving of the or identifying the lower boundary of our modal class. That is the 30.5. So, it is already given there. The modal class or the lower boundary of the modal class is 30.5. Okay. And our CW or the class width is also the same, which is 5. Okay, so we have already given. Next, we're going to identify the D1. How to identify the D1? So the D1 here, the definition is that the difference of the modal class which is 12, minus the frequency before it, which is 11. Okay, so just subtract the 2. So to get the D1, because we're just going to get the difference between the modal class, which is the 12, minus the frequency before our modal class, which is 11. That is our D1. And 12 minus 11, that is equal to 1. Therefore, our D1 is equal to 1. So we have already there identified that D1, which is the difference of the modal class and the class preceding it or before it. Now, let us proceed with the D2. So D2, the definition of D2 is the difference of the modal class and the class succeeding it. So when we say succeeding it, after it. So again, our modal class is 12. The frequency after it is 11. So it's just so happened that it is also 11. So the difference of our modal class, which is 12, and the frequency after it is 11. So 12 minus 11, that is equal to 1. So our D2 is also equal to 1. So we have already there, and our class width also again is equal to 5. So we have already there the given. All we need to do is just to substitute our given to our formula. So LB sub MO, or the lower boundary of our modal class, is 30.5 plus our D1 is 1 over D1 is 1 plus D2 is 1 times our CW, which is 5. So simplify, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So 1 over 2 times 5, that is 2.5. And we have already there 30.5 plus 2.5, which is 33. Therefore, our mode of the grouped data given in here is 33. And there you have it. We have already solved the measures of central tendency, the mean, median, and the mode of our given grouped data. So if you have some questions, don't hesitate to ask it in our GC or drop your message on the description down below.